Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Getting Started with Dwarf Fortress for new players. Here with me, the Moocher Mouse. Last episode we talked a little bit about Auto Butcher. Seems one of our pigs decided he didn't need Auto Butcher and went and died all on his own. And just as I say that, the dwarves can report that the stray boar has been missing for a week. Funny how they figure that out, because his corpse is right on the floor here. I don't think he is technically missing. But if we're lucky, I'm going to tell them to butcher him. And see if we can get that done manually. Because once he's been dead for a while, he begins to rot and he becomes unedible. He's technically been dead for a week. So, maybe not the best thing to butcher at this point and eat, but what do you know? But that does leave me with an interesting opportunity to, while our dwarves are digging, which they're doing here, and we'll come back to this whole mess later. But while they're digging and the pig is dead, we can talk about refuse stockpiles, the importance of them, and what miasma is. And hopefully to avoid having miasma. So miasma is basically the fart stank that comes from dead things. Rotting meat, rotting corpses, etc. will produce miasma. Miasma isn't technically a real thing, I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe that the miasma term is an old world term where they knew, right, that hang around dead bodies, you can get sick and die. And they believe that to come from the miasma, which was identified by the stank and the smell. So that became like, oh, stay away from the miasma or you get sick. In Dwarf Fortress is an actual thing. Miasma will make your dwarves sick. Or could make them more potentially flip out because of the stank. So you want to avoid that. So let's mitigate the problem we have here with a stinky pig. And I think the way we're going to do that is by building a refuse stockpile. Oh, and there we have the pig stink, just as I was talking about it. And we have migrants. So we're going to talk about migrants in the next episode then. This tutorial is sort of invented as we go along. But what has happened here is that we now have pig stink. We have miasma. And this is bad. Dwarves who come in contact with this will get annoyed, will get terrified, will get disgusted. And they can become sick. Very sick. They can become angry and tantrums can ensue. So what you really want to do is you want to put the pig outside. It might seem counterintuitive, like why would you put it outside? They're just going to walk in the stank anyway. Yes and no, they will, but they won't. So what we will do is we will designate a stockpile by hitting P, and we will say that we want this to be a refuse stockpile. And we will just allocate a square down here to be the refuse stockpile. And then someone is going to come and move the pig. Here he comes. Here comes the farmer. So we're just going to quickly take note of our pig here. This is Bear Rovos. Oh, yeah. That guy. I can't pronounce that. We're just going to let him carry this. And while he's carrying this, we can have a look at him and see his thoughts and preferences. Within the last season, she felt fondness talking with a friend. Okay, so it doesn't look like she is having any adverse effect by carrying the pig corpse. Just the pig corpse on its own wouldn't cause any adverse effect, but you never know. See, we're going to dig out a little bit of a doorway here. So that she doesn't have to walk all the way up and down, or the next person who has to go out here doesn't have to go all the way up to go out and then go down again. So there we have it. Now we have a refuse stockpile, which is, as I mentioned, just sort of a place to store stuff. And by putting the corpses outside, you won't let the miasma gather. There will still be some miasma, but in this area here, there will not be any traffic to and fro here. Dwarves do not need to go down here for anything other than to dump stuff in the stockpile, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So that was just a quick episode to talk about the dead pig. What we do with the dead pig, because we do not want dead animals or dead dwarfs or anything dead lying around, because it's going to cause trouble for us. And we made a refuse stockpile to store that in. So then I'm going to see you in the next episode, where we're quickly going to talk about the migrants that we just got. And I will share a little bit with you what I do with migrants when they arrive, how to inspect them, how to allocate them, etc. So I will see you in the next episode.